it is, the best diaper dandy ever to wear the Syracuse uniform.
Imagine a world where one of the most dominant, influential, generational athletes decided to come to Syracuse, New York to play basketball. But we only had him for 1 year. We didn't fully realize what we had at first, but what our 2003 team accomplished was simply unforgettable. Melo averaged 22 points and 10 rebounds.
He freezes you. You back up because you know he's explosive, a little nylon.
An easy choice for Big East Rookie of the Year and National Freshman of the Year. A consensus All-American, the Final Four Most Outstanding Player. And most importantly, Melo was the ultimate teammate.
Sometimes you have those one-year wonders, guys that you know are only going to play 1 year, possibly go to the next level. Sometimes upset chemistry, but Carmelo Anthony has really helped.
The team as a whole ended the year with a 30-5 overall record. Big East co-champion, undefeated record at home, and of course, NCAA national champion.
Y'all keep chanting 1 more year. I'll take this man's school for 4 years.
He wasn't kidding, but it was time to go. Melo loves Syracuse, and we love him. He went on to accomplish so many great things after his time at Syracuse and still isn't finished. But he always comes back. The truth is, we didn't get Melo for 1 year after all. We've got him for life. Congratulations, Carmelo, on this incredible honor from your Syracuse family.
The number one Syracuse Sports Radio right here on YouTube. So happy to be back with you folks. Once again, I'm your host, Brandon Nutting. Folks, a tribute video to the great Carmelo Anthony of Syracuse basketball legend, who yesterday was inducted into the NBA. Oh, okay, don't need that video playing again. Who was inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame yesterday. Of course, we have all that up here in just a few moments. But folks, we do want to say good morning to everyone. Good morning to our Mad Lads. Good morning, everyone. Hopefully you guys are all having a great morning today. When I say we have a stacked show for you folks today, I mean we have a stacked. I'm not kidding. We are probably going to be in this video with you guys for about 2 hours today. By the looks of the planning and everything that we've done today, we actually have a full show full of stuff to talk about. We're not only are we going from the mic sounds too low. Oh, now. What's the problem is my mic doesn't allow me to test it beforehand. Hopefully it sounds okay now. We turn off the loop back. I don't know, maybe that'll do it. No. Gotta love the technical issues that comes along with this show. I have no idea. Maybe that I have. No, I don't think that's it, but this is now. Does my mic sound okay now? Because I have no idea. I know that we have a sponsor read to do. I know we have a whole bunch of stuff we have to get to. Hopefully the mic sounds okay. The mic is on. Good morning, Noble. Good morning, Mad Lads. Does it sound okay now? See, this is the problem when you move equipment around, is you lose. Say, everything's up all the way. It's even worse. If my microphone is not working, then we have a problem. Yeah, I agree. We're excited too because we have a lot to talk about, including NFL football today. It sounds a bit, well, this is the best that I can do, unfortunately. I don't know what's going on with the microphone side of it. Maybe. Everything's up. Maybe that? Maybe? I don't know if that's doing anything. Maybe I have no idea. But anyway, I guess we should stop worrying about that. I love it when we have technical issues to start off the show. Does the screaming goat work at least? Well, we know that works. Unbelievable. Anyway, good morning, everyone. Welcome to BWN Radio, the #1 Syracuse Sports Radio right here on YouTube. Folks, we have so much to talk about in terms of Syracuse football, Syracuse legends being inducted into the Hall of Fame. We have college football to recap, including a wild game between number 15 Michigan and number 18 Oklahoma yesterday. We have NFL Week 1. We're going to be breaking down the Giants, Bills, and the Jets matchups today. Not only that, but we also have WNBA news to talk about. We have the NBA to talk about. We have Around the Diamond. We just have so much stuff to get to today that we're going to try and do our best to keep the show on track as much as we possibly can. Highly doubt that we're going to be able to do that, but let's start in the place where we started this morning. Carmelo Anthony is officially in the Basketball Hall of Fame. For folks that don't know the name Carmelo Anthony, you've kind of been living under a rock. Carmelo Anthony was the shining star in Syracuse for a long time. He brought Syracuse a 2003 national championship before heading to the NBA to join the draft class with Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, and so many other recognizable names. Even though he has no NBA championship in Melo's 19 seasons in the NBA, that doesn't mean that he didn't pave the way for many great scorers in the NBA today. Carmelo Anthony, throughout his years was just a fantastic basketball player. Anyone who says that Carmelo wasn't the heart and soul of Syracuse, New York, Denver, wherever he went to play, he had an impact on every single team. And you want to know why that is? It's because he was even part of Team USA basketball. He became Team USA's basketball. He is third on USA basketball's all-time scoring list, winning 4 Olympic medals, including 3 gold. He's a 10-time NBA All-Star, 6-time All-NBA selection, and a member of the 75th NBA anniversary team. Carmelo Anthony defined an era of basketball for Syracuse, setting the standard for many years as Syracuse became a powerhouse in basketball. And now we can officially say that he has one more thing to add to his resume other than podcaster, I think winery owner. I know he has some kind of drink out there. But no, we can now add Basketball Hall of Famer Carmelo's resume, and honestly a well-deserved one. He is 10th on the NBA's all-time scoring list with 28,289 points. Just a legendary career overall. No one can sit here and say that Carmelo doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame. If you sit there and say that Carmelo doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame, I can list off a whole bunch of names that also don't belong in the Hall of Fame. By the way, Stephen A., you could shut up. Stephen A. said that Melo would have 3 rings if he teamed up with LeBron and Wade, which, true, but still. LeBron James had himself a terrific career. He was selected number 3 overall by the Denver Nuggets back in that 2003 draft class. His career was just outstanding. He played for Portland, played for the Lakers. Obviously, his stint with the Knicks was probably his biggest one, with a flashback where he set an MSG record with 62 points back in 2014. You just had to show some love for Carmelo Anthony, and I don't understand anyone that says that he doesn't belong as a Hall of Famer. I would have to strongly disagree with that opinion. Carmelo Anthony's paved the way for many, many people. Not only that, he was an influence on so many things. Not only that, but the fact that he had his jersey retired. I remember that. He had his jersey retired. He was part of the 20th anniversary team in March of 2023 as Jim Boeheim coached his final home game in the old Carrier Dome before retiring. Do know that they opened up the Carmelo K. Anthony Basketball Center, a practice facility for Syracuse. I mean, you just can't say enough great things about Carmelo. And obviously, there was a bunch of Hall of Famers, not just Carmelo, that got inducted. I know that last night Dwight Howard got inducted, Sue Bird got inducted. And then, of course, we move on to the next introduction, which was, of course, the big one: LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, Carmelo Anthony, and the 2008 Team USA basketball team that would become known as the Redeem Team. That's right. That is right. Associated with the Redeem Team rightly is Kobe Bryant with his finger pressed to his lip, obviously the silencer that he would do. This team was led by Coach K, Jim Boeheim, just so much coaching talent on that sideline. And I mean, you just can't say enough about it. That team, looking back at that 2008 Redeem Team, I mean, you just can't. You really can't match up the level of basketball talent that was on that team. I want you to think about this, right? Dwight Howard, Chris Bosh, Chris Paul, LeBron James, Carmelo Anthony, Dwayne Wade, Aaron Williams, Carlos Boozer. I mean, you want to talk about just a stacked team. Give you the Redeem Team. Team that was just so dominant. I believe that was also the team that Kobe Bryant pretty much ran right through his teammate Paul Gasol, I think. I believe that was the Redeem Team too. He went right through Paul's chest, if I remember. If I remember correctly. I definitely remember that. I mean, you want to talk about just pure basketball talent. You look at that 2008 Redeem Team. I mean, you really have nowhere else better to look than that team. I mean, heck, they even had Jason Kidd, one of the most prolific passers in the game back in the day. You had Kobe Bryant, one of the most effective scorers. LeBron James. I mean, a guy you couldn't even hope to slow down. You add Wade and LeBron on the same team, you were pretty much over. I mean, you pretty much had the Miami Heat big three on that team before they were in Miami. James, Wade, and Bosh. Then had Carmelo and Dwight Howard. That five right there is scary. You add Kobe Bryant and Jason Kidd to that, that's even worse. Okay, you might as well just give up now, son. Okay, that's what I would have done. I would have said nope, not even gonna, not even going to. Not only that, but when you're working with a coaching legend like Coach K, and you're also working alongside as an assistant like Jim Boeheim, I mean, Jesus Christ, can you imagine? Imagine. I mean, I don't even know how you slow that team down. Imagine if that team was formed in the NBA. This would be all the opponents. I know damn well that would be me. If I saw that team, that would be me. Then it would be game over. Well, you got the Team USA crowd cheering like this. And then you got the world was cheering against us like this. And then we hit them with this. No, but seriously though, congratulations to all those that were inducted into the Basketball Hall of Fame last night. I do know that it is a very long list that was inducted last night, including Carmelo Anthony, Dwight Howard, Maya Moore, Sue Bird. Um, like we said, the 2008 Redeem team, which, by the way, they pretty much had all the players from that team on that stage, which was even more insane. Just looking at that entire stage full of the Redeem team players. Darren Williams looked weird to me. I was like, wait, is that Darren Williams? Scared the living crap out of me. I was like, what the hell is Darren Williams doing? You had Boozer up there. I was like, damn, Boozer actually looks good. Wade up there. Braun. Howard was getting inducted by Nick Wilkins, Shaquille O'Neal, Patrick Ewing, Robert Parrish. Paid homage to Bill Russell, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Dwight Howard has to be one of the most underrated centers in NBA history. Anyone that says that he's not, I beg to differ. I mean, the dude. I'm so happy to see that Dwight actually won a championship in his career, but dude, you want to talk about underrated as hell? I give you that. Oh, and that's going to be my question of the day. I want that to be my question. Who can stop this team? Jason Kidd, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James. I mean, Jesus Christ. I can't imagine anyone slowing that team down. Add Carmelo on it. I mean, Jesus. Unbelievable. It's time that we move from the Basketball Hall of Fame to the football field of the college football sports as we go to Syracuse for this one as the UConn Huskies came to the Dome to take on the Syracuse Orange. And boy, oh boy, you want to talk about a game that was a disaster. I give you Syracuse 7-point victory in overtime against UConn. Angeli had 417 yards passing and went 33 of 53, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. Willis had 48 yards, 11 carries for 1 touchdown. 2016 Warriors, get out of here. The 2016 Warriors ain't slowing that freaking team down. Get out of here. I'm talking about that 2008 team as it is. Those guys were all in their primes pretty much, playing at the highest level. No way the 2016 Warriors would even come close to touching them. Even close. Anyway, getting back to Syracuse football now. Syracuse football had to rally because they were down 17-6 in the third quarter. They would end up dropping 14 points in the fourth before UConn would kick a tying field goal that would send the game into overtime. It would actually be, I believe it was Willis that ran it in for the. Wait a minute, it was Angeli threw a 6-yard scoring strike to Judas Ross Simmons. The right pylon in Syracuse's first possession of overtime to give the Orange a 27-20 win over the UConn Huskies on Saturday. So let's talk about this game, because what happened after that was found on social media was actually the funniest goddamn thing I will ever see on the planet. And yes, I am going to say that this is the funniest damn thing I've ever seen, because we found video of what happened after that game. Kid you not, this was the scene after Syracuse's victory. Tran Brown was pissed with his players, was pissed with the team, and he made them do this. He made them sprint. Made them do sprints. He was mad. He was mad at his entire team that they had to go overtime against UConn Huskies with the highest level of talent that they have, and he made them do sprints after the game. Which, by the way, I don't blame him one goddamn bit. I would be pissed too. And I'm still pissed because Syracuse should not be playing at this level. This should not be the Syracuse Orange that we're watching at this time, but unfortunately it is what it is. And unfortunately, we're looking at a Syracuse team that defensively is just broken down. We're looking at a Syracuse team that struggles offensively, even though it took an entire fourth quarter and an overtime to get us the victory. Some shining light came out of this. Angeli, he had an incredible performance. Willis, he had an incredible performance. I just think that Syracuse overall, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I don't even know what was going through the head of these Syracuse players because first quarter it looked like it was going to be a very competitive ball game from the start. And then second quarter, Syracuse kind of fell apart. They allowed 2 touchdowns by UConn. I mean, they just couldn't stop the run. They couldn't stop. I mean, UConn's quarterback. They couldn't really do anything offensively to really slow anything down. Offensively, it took them a while to wake up. It took until the fourth quarter for Syracuse to wake up and be like, "Oh, we're actually playing football now. Now we actually gotta pay attention." Like, that is not the Syracuse team that I wanted to see on the field yesterday, but unfortunately it was. And to say that I am strongly disappointed off the performance of the Syracuse players is high. I mean, no offense, we should have blown out UConn. Should have been at least a 2 to 3 score Syracuse victory. Instead, they had to win in overtime in a 27-20 victory. So I have a bad feeling that the Syracuse curse is coming towards Fran Brown, which of course always ends with this after the coach's second year, after the coach's third or fourth year of coaching.
You're fired!
It's the Syracuse curse, man. We have one good season with a new head coach, gets us to a bowl game, wins us a bowl game, and then all of a sudden it's like we just have a downfall. Don't worry, we got many downfalls to talk about today. And when I say many of downfalls, I mean a lot of downfalls when it comes to college football. But anyway, Syracuse football's next game is going to be against Colgate, which should be a barn burner for the Orange. When I say a barn burner, I'm pretty sure they're going to find a way to choke that game too. Syracuse, of course, will be in the Dome for this one. It says here that yesterday, Colgate lost to Villanova 24-17. Currently, as of right now, Colgate is 0-2 in the season. Syracuse is currently 1-1. That game is going to be on the ACC network at 7 p.m. If you guys want to go to this game, check out our sponsors at Vivid Seats, which of course has tickets starting as low as $4 for that game. Wow, you can tell it's a must-go-to football game. Just the level. I mean, hold on. First off, we forgot to do this at the beginning of the show because we were too busy mixed in with the Carmelo Anthony stuff, but I forgot we had a sponsor read to do. You can tell that this show is at its highest level today. This segment of BW Radio is brought to you guys by Tasha Coffee Company. Founded in Chicago in 2023, Tasha Coffee Company is the premier anime-inspired coffee brand for fans who love to live life loud. They blend top-tier beans to bring you flavor that will not only give your taste buds a kick into fifth gear, but will give you the energy to start your day off right. So whether you're a cosplayer, a VTuber, or a streamer like us, Tasha Coffee Company makes you feel like part of the family. Check them out using the link below and use code the BW Radio Network, the BW Radio Network, in all capitals, at checkout for awesome discounts. Thank you for Tasha Coffee Company for sponsoring this segment of BW Radio. But anyway, in just the level of Syracuse football, it wouldn't shock me if this game was going to be the closest game Syracuse has this year. And I have a feeling that after this game, is going to be the biggest shit show sandwich on the planet. After that, they got number 8 Clemson. Then they got Duke. Then they got number 17 SMU. Then they got Pitt. It's just, we barely make it into a bowl game. Realistically, if we were to make it to a bowl game this year, I'd be surprised. But, Jesus Christ. It's going to be a long year for Syracuse, isn't it? Scream and Go, what do you think it's going to be? Alright, enough of you. Alright. We are going to take a commercial break because, like I said, we have a lot of show to get to today with a lot of stuff to talk about, including the scoreboard from college football yesterday. And boy, oh boy, did we see some upsets galore yesterday. And of course, we'll take a look ahead at week 3 in college football. Not only that, but folks, the NFL is officially back as games kick off today at 1 o'clock. We'll break down the games for both the Giants, the Jets, and the Bills coming up in just a few moments. Not only that, but folks, we have a lot to talk about, including how there was some breaking news last night with the Pittsburgh Steelers, including a new deal being reached. Not only that, but we're also going to talk about our opinions on the Thursday night football fiasco between Dak Prescott and Jalen Carter. Not only that, but folks, we have the WNBA Playoffs to talk about, including how the Fever have officially sidelined Clark. How does this affect their playoff stance? Not only that, how does this affect the playoff picture altogether? Not only that, but folks, we have a lot to talk about when it comes to the NBA, including another NBA All-Star Game format change and how they need to cut their shit. Not only that, but around the diamond and so much more to talk about today. So make sure you follow Stay Live right here on BWN Radio, the #1 Syracuse Sports Radio, right here on YouTube. Syracuse Sports Radio right here on YouTube. So we'll be back with you folks once again. Folks, this segment of BWN Radio is brought to you guys by our friends at Fanatics.com. Fanatics, if you would, please.
Sports fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear. From all the leagues, teams, and players you love, unique one-of-a-kind designs exclusively by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars shipped directly to your home. Join Fanatics Rewards for free to earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and for a limited time, get 20% off all orders. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
Folks, it's time to gear up for the NFL season and the college football season, and the best way to do that is by gearing up with our friends from Fanatics.com. Folks, if you are a sports fan, you need to gear up with the best from Fanatics.com, from jerseys to merchandise and more. Folks, you guys can even download the new Fanatics app and start earning fan cash that you guys can use towards future purchases. Folks, the NFL season is kicking off today, but that doesn't mean you guys can't gear up with the best from Fanatics.com. Not only that, but the college football season is in full swing, and folks, we are creeping upon the upcoming NBA and college basketball seasons. The best way to do that is to gear up with Fanatics.com. Folks, check them out today if you're fans of the NBA, the NFL, MLB, NHL, NCAA, MLS, WWE, and more. Check it all out today at Fanatics.com or download the new mobile app today on the App Store or Google Play. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything. All right. It's now time for the Fanatics.com breakdown, and of course, we're going to start with college football, folks. Yesterday, just so many games that, of course, didn't really matter for much in the top ranked teams. Ohio State pretty much blew out Grambling Ohio State. 70-0. Complete blowout, complete domination by the number one team in the nation. FIU took a big dump against number 2 Penn State. 34-0. LSU was pure dominance, 23-7 against Louisiana Tech. Georgia had a little bit of a scare. Really, they blew out Austin Prairie by 22 points. Number 5 Miami, big win over. I don't even know what color. They got a 45-3 victory. Number 6 Oregon, 69-3 victory over Oklahoma State. The Oregon Duck didn't lose his head this week, but he did come out dressed as a Labubu, which honestly is annoying. Should the Oregon Duck have done that? I agree. Number 7 Texas finally got back on track. Arch Manning got back on track. 38-7 victory over San Jose State. Clemson, bit of a scare. They were able to battle back to get a 27-16 victory over Troy. Number 11 Illinois, 5-19 victory over Duke. Good to see the Blue Devils lose once in a while. Obviously, there were a lot of games yesterday that we kind of highlighted. I was surprised that Mississippi State took down ASU, which was Arizona State, 24-20. Upset of the day right there. Another big upset was South Florida, in the last second field goal to get a 18-16 victory over number 13 Florida. That was shocking. I could not believe that. I thought Florida was better than that. But South Florida pretty much said, not so fast, my friend. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna make sure that that doesn't happen. Number 14 Florida State, looking as dominant as ever. Jeez, it's pure jeez. 77-3 victory. We get to the game of the day, which was number 15 Michigan taking on number 18 Oklahoma. Boy, oh boy. Michigan's defense took a beating from number 18 Oklahoma. We couldn't slow them down. And right when Michigan looked like they were trying to keep that game close, it just seemed like Oklahoma had so many answers for what Michigan was trying to do. And not only that, but Michigan's defense, without their big star to start off the game, kind of hurt them in major ways. But, Mateer, jeez, 270 yards passing yesterday. He had himself a game. I would say that he's definitely going to be a Heisman Trophy candidate, especially with his performance yesterday against Michigan. Michigan, I don't feel like they're going to fall out of the top 25 because of this loss. I know that it's going to hurt them when it comes to terms of the college football playoff predictions, but overall, I don't think that this is going to hurt Michigan at all. It was such a good game that Michigan even battled back at some point, but just what can you do? What can you do to slow down Oklahoma? You really couldn't do it. You really couldn't do much. Of course, we had a battle of Iowa versus number 16 Illinois State. Big battle there. Illinois State walked away with a 16-13 victory. Number 17 SMU falls to Baylor in second overtime. 48-45 was the score in that one. Sawyer Robertson threw for 444 yards in that one. Let's see, any other big time upsets here? Let's see. I'm looking for the upsets. Alabama, of course, got a 73-0 victory over Monroe, Alabama. see. Tennessee got a 72-17 victory. Isn't there another big upset? That's all the upsets. Wow. Okay. West Virginia dominated by the NC State Wolfpack. Saw that one coming from a mile away. Pittsburgh showing their dominance in a 45-17 victory. This was the battle I wanted to see. Missouri versus Kansas, and Missouri just dominated Kansas in that one. 42-31 was the final. Just pure dominance in college football. What you love to see. Pure dominance. I mean, there were a lot of interesting games yesterday. There were a lot of interesting grabs yesterday. I mean, there was just so much college football action that took place yesterday. And now we look ahead to week 3. Because that's when the good stuff starts. That's when the good stuff starts. Week 3. Week 3. Oh boy. I mean, there's just so many matchups highlighted here. Number 20, Ole Miss taking on Arkansas. Number 6, Oregon taking on Northwestern. Number 8, Clemson taking on Georgia Tech. Alabama, number 21, Alabama versus Wisconsin. Number 18, Oklahoma taking on Temple. I mean, there's just so much good football, especially with this big battle here between two top 25 teams. As number 4, Georgia takes on number 22, Tennessee. That is going to be a shootout game. It's going to be a game that is just going to be complete and utter shootout. Both of those teams are going to go into that game expecting a victory. I mean, prove me wrong. You cannot prove me wrong in this respect. I mean, geez, I mean, you look at that game. Those two teams are going to beat the living crap out of each other. The fact that it's going to be in Knoxville, that's going to be even worse. They're going to be in Honky Tonk Country. I mean, that's just, oof. It's kind of battles I love, man. 25 teams going at it. Trying to prove that they belong. South Florida, they take on number 5, Miami. Can you imagine if they got an upset victory over Miami? Oh my God, we would have to talk about South Florida being in the top 25. That'd be insane. That'd be an insane thing to talk about. But we do have some other interesting battles. Number 3, LSU taking on number 13, Florida. Ooh. And they're going to be in Baton Rouge. Ooh. Oh, that game right there. That just screams overtime game. 2 high-scoring offenses, 2 electrifying defenses, even though Florida took that big-time loss. I could tell you what, that right there, if that doesn't scream college football, I don't know what does. Number 19, Texas A&M versus number 9, Notre Dame. Oof. I mean, we're hitting the good stuff for the next weekend. Minnesota versus Cal. Boston College versus... I mean, there's just so much good football on next weekend. I'm actually excited for it. Anyone that's not excited for college football next weekend, you're a liar. Speaking of football, ladies and gentlemen, scream it loud. The NFL is back. Yes, here again. Yes. Yes. The NFL is back. The NFL is back today. Sundays are never boring again. We got so much football on today. My God. After a whole bunch of football the past couple of days, more football today. Kicking off at 1 o'clock. We got some good matchups today. Honestly excited for this. I've been waiting for this. Waiting to see how the Giants are going to lose to Washington. Even though I picked them to win today. I've been waiting to see how the Jets are going to handle Aaron Rodgers. I'm waiting to see a rematch between Buffalo and Baltimore on Sunday Night Football. What I wasn't expecting what happened Thursday and Friday, which we're going to talk about those games first before we get into today's games. Um, let's start with Thursday's football game because something interesting happened there. Yes, we are going to talk about it. We're not going to glance over it. For folks that don't know what happened Thursday Night Football, yes, the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles took down the Dallas Cowboys in a 24-20 victory. Uh, Besides the lightning storm that took place, or the storm that took place, something else happened. Uh, Eagles standout defensive tackle Jalen Carter was ejected from Thursday night's game against the Dallas Cowboys before the first play from scrimmage. After the opening kickoff, there was an injury delay for Eagles fullback Ben Van Surm. I'm gonna butcher that name. I'm not even gonna try. Who remained on the ground for several minutes. During that time, Carter and Cowboys quarterback Dak Prescott got face to face, and Carter spit on Prescott as the two began to separate. Uh, yes, we did watch the footage. We will give our opinion in just a second. Carter says it was a mistake that happened on my side and it just won't happen again. Carter said after the game, I feel bad for my teammates and the fans out there. I'm doing it for them. Not being able to start the game, even finish the game, is effed up of me, and we're going to get better. It won't happen again. I can make that promise. Later, video showed Prescott spitting in the direction of Carter and Eagles defense before Carter spit on him. Now, Scott characterized the situation as a misunderstanding that escalated, saying he frequently spits during the game and spit ahead to avoid his lineman while watching Carter mess with rookie guard Tyler Brook. He said Carter asked, "Are you trying to spit on me?" before that happened. Sorry, everyone, I had to answer something real quick. But it says here this was a quote from Prescott. I wouldn't spin on somebody. Prescott said I stepped through, and I actually said words like "the hell, excuse me," and probably even more colorful. What would I need to spit on you for? And he just spit on me in that moment. It was more of a surprise than anything. Okay, now I want to point this out. Okay, I really do want to point this out. Okay, because this was from the referee who ejected Carter. He says one of the officials observed Carter spitting on an opponent. Referee Sean Smith told a pool reporter it disqualified a disqualifiable foul in the game. It's a non-football act. Okay, let me go ahead and start off by saying this. Okay, in my opinion, after watching the video, and I know that everyone's gonna have different opinions on this, I'm giving ours. Here's my opinion on this. Jalen Carter shouldn't have been the one ejected. In my opinion, it should have been him and Dak Prescott. Because we watched video of that afterwards, and what we've seen was Prescott spitting in the same direction as Carter, Carter spitting back at Dak Prescott in response. Anyone who says that Jalen Carter was the most at fault in this, you are so full of crap that your eyes are starting to turn brown. Prescott was more to blame because if you watch the video, you could see he spit and then did a little like, haha, kind of smile towards Carter. There needs to be justice here. If the NFL says that Carter's going to get like a suspension for this, then Dak Prescott deserves one too. Because you can clearly watch the video and see that Dak Prescott was pretty much laughing, getting into his face, talking a whole bunch of shit, and Carter just gave a response right back. He's like, if you're going to spit in my direction, I'm going to spit back at you. And here's the thing, why are you guys spitting at each other? If you guys are actually going to fight, throw fists. NFL, you guys are wearing helmets. We want to see brawls. I would. I don't get it. I don't get why you wouldn't. I don't get why. I mean, me personally, if I was a referee, I would eject both Prescott and Carter. Anyone who says otherwise, you're full of crap. If anyone says that, and the worst part is people are saying, "Oh, you're a Giants fan," which is this is why you're saying that both need to be ejected. No, I'm a reasonable football fan that sits here and says, if two guys are going to do a disqualifiable act towards each other, why is one only getting disqualified? Why isn't the other? Prescott was spitting and kind of getting in Carter's face after that. So I mean, come on. Anyone who says otherwise, you're full of crap. I mean, come on. Mark deserved to get ejected just as much as Carter did. Period. End of story. If you guys sit there and tell me otherwise, I'm going to say you're so full of crap. It's not even funny. Oh, but he's the one that did it plain in view of the official. So? Doesn't matter. If they have video replays in New York for a reason. If they showed that replay to one of the officials, I guarantee you Dak would be gone, and so would Carter at the exact same time. End of story. Fight me on it all you want. But, anyway, that's how Thursday started. Then we go to Friday, and the most shocking result of them all. Friday, Chargers took down the Kansas City Chiefs in a 27-21 victory. What the hell happened to KC? To the point where they lost to the Chargers. I mean, I would have never expected that. Herbert threw for 318 yards. Holmes was the leading rusher in that game with 53 yards. Hollywood Brown had 99 yards receiving in that game. What the hell did the Chargers do? You know everyone's going to be looking at that game now and being like, all right, this is what we need to do against Kansas City. I mean, Jesus Christ. I couldn't believe it. I also couldn't believe it the fact that Travis Kelce took out his own guy. I couldn't believe it. I was like, holy crap, he actually destroyed his own guy. Why would he do that? It was so bad. Like, that entire KC offensive line was just so bad. I don't even know where to start with that. But anyway, the Chiefs ended up getting the win 27-21 in that one. Now, move on today's slate of games. Today is Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. It is that time. We need to talk football. Today's games feature so much football. We have been waiting months for. It is back. Boy, oh boy, do we have a lot of action kicking off at 1 o'clock. And boy, do the New York teams have a busy day today. As the New York Giants, the renewed New York Giants team, takes on Commanders after Commanders made it to the NFC title game last year. They host the new-looking New York Giants team. The Giants last year went 3 of 14. Washington went 14 of 6. Giants have Russell Wilson at quarterback after being under the helm of Daniel Jones for so long. Thank God the reign is over. At Northwest Stadium, Andover, Giants will take on the Commanders. What'll be a game to watch as Russell Wilson goes up against Jaden Daniels. And all I can say is we are in for an interesting slate there. If you guys want to attend that game from our sponsor at Vivid Seats, tickets are as low as $118. So we're looking to attend the game. So obviously, I've been asked who's going to win this matchup, and obviously ESPN is their favorites, and obviously it is favorited that 67% are rolling with Washington to defeat the Giants. I am sticking with my boys. I'm going to say the Giants could walk out with a victory today. Um, Mostly because I think the Giants have a lot to prove, considering the fact that now that they're under a new regime at behind center, and the fact that they have a new revamped defense. I feel like the Giants have a lot to prove this year. I just think that this game against Washington, it's going to be a battle like it always is when it comes between these two teams. I know that Washington will look to just dominate the Giants, considering the fact that last season it was pretty much dominated by Washington. Um, I know that the Giants are going to look at this game and say, "Look, we have a lot to prove coming into this. What can we do?" Um, I think realistically they're going to rely heavily on the passing game with Russell Wilson. We did hear that Dart could be thrown into the mix today at some point, which could be very interesting because we heard a report that Dart actually has some plays involving him, so it could be a mixture of Wilson and Dart today. Um, but I am very interested to see how this New York Giants offense works, and especially how that new revamped defense with Abdul Carter, with Dexter Lawrence. Um, I'm very curious to see how it all plays out today. But I'm gonna stick with the Giants. If you got folks are looking to watch that game, it's at 1 p.m. on Fox. Washington is -6.5 favorites, with the over/under being 45.5. If you're a betting person, I would say probably take the Commanders with that 6.5. And probably over because these two teams are no, well, maybe under today. I'm going to say under because whenever these two teams meet, it's usually very close whenever these two teams play each other. Um, I mean, we're in for a very interesting ride to see how this game is going to play out for both teams, considering the fact that Jaden Daniels is coming off an Offensive Player of the year, and the fact that the Giants are being led by a veteran quarterback that they haven't had in a while. But it should be a very interesting one. Now, of course, one of the other big headlines today is, of course, none other than the fact that the Jets are taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, this matchup, of course, the main story here is the fact that Aaron Rodgers is returning back to MetLife Stadium uh, pretty much after a terrible start with the Jets. He then ends up leaving the Jets, ends up signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's going to be Justin Fields at quarterback. Honestly, this game should be coming right down the middle. I think that both teams have a very electrified defense. It's the offensive side of the ball that scares me for both teams because I don't know how Aaron Rodgers is going to play. Not only that, but I also don't know how the Jets are going to play either. So this is why it's kind of one of those games where it could be a toss-up. Now, obviously, ESPN says that the Steelers are the heavy favorite in this one, but according to the spread here, it says here that the Steelers are actually a 3-point favorite. Um, there's so many storylines that are loaded into this Week 1 matchup, including the one that actually broke last night, which was less than 24 hours before their season opener against the New York Jets. The Pittsburgh Steelers and defensive captain Cam Hayward agreed to a reworked contract that adds more than $3 million in incentives to his deal this year. The deal allows Hayward, 36, to earn up to $18 million in 2025, an increase from the $14.75 million he was initially due in his 2-year contract extension he signed a year ago. With the contract dispute resolved, Hayward will play Sunday against the New York Jets. Um, so we are in for a very interesting game there, especially with that side of the ball now that they have their defensive captain back. Um, like I said, this is another game where I honestly cannot tell you who I have as a favorite because honestly, I don't feel like Aaron Rodgers is going to be effective, especially with this new offense. But not only that, I also don't know about Justin Fields, considering the fact that he started off so hot last year for Pittsburgh and then got benched for Russell Wilson. And I don't know how he's going to work with this new New York Jets offense. I also don't know how the defensive side looks for both teams. realistically, I can sit here and tell you this, that both teams are going to rely on their defenses heavily in this game. I think that's going to be a very interesting one. This game is going to be at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. From our friends at Vivid Seats, tickets are as low as $100. Um, I honestly think that it's going to be a back and forth kind of game between these two teams that could result in that -3 becoming true, because I think it is going to come down to a field goal to decide it. Surprisingly enough, when we made our pick, I did pick the Steelers, I believe. I did pick the Steelers only because, like I said, I don't know about this New York Jets team and how it's going to work, especially with Justin Fields at the helm. So that's why I'm kind of iffy to say, oh yes, I'm gonna pick the Jets. I just went with the safe bet and picked the Steelers because I don't know how the Jets are gonna look in that game. But it's definitely gonna be interesting. Now we go to real matchup that everyone is tossed between. The one that is so 50-50 that no one knows who's gonna win it, and that's tonight's Sunday night football matchup on NBC at 8:20 p.m. Baltimore Ravens, Highmark Stadium in Orchard Park, New York, take on the Buffalo Bills. Reigning MVP Josh Allen taking on Lamar Jackson. Two teams are looking to make something happen. Two teams met each other in the playoffs with obviously a storyline here, which was Ravens fell to Buffalo in the playoffs last year. Buffalo fell to Kansas City. Buffalo looking to make something happen. Ravens looking to make something happen. It's so 50-50. ESPN could not come up with a split for this one. They project that tonight's total points is going to be over 50 points. This is the toughest game that you could pick out of the entire lineup of games today. It really is. Part of me wants to sit here and believe that now that the Bills, I feel like, have an established team, they will come out as the victors. I also don't trust King Henry. I don't trust Lamar Jackson. It is such a toss up that I legit had to flip a coin to pick my winner. And surprisingly enough, it landed with Buffalo. This game right here, in my opinion, determines the AFC champion. Guaranteeing it now, like I guaranteed last podcast. The winner of this game tonight will be AFC champions and will be in the Super Bowl. I have that feeling, and I'm going to stick to that feeling because I believe it's going to happen. I believe it's going to come down to one possession, like the last time these two teams met. I think it's going to come down to either of these quarterbacks either running or throwing. That is going to determine it. In my opinion, though, realistically, Josh Allen to lead that team. I think Josh Allen is going to make that team what it is, which is Buffalo is going to go out there and just dominate that game. On the other side, also having those feelings of does the Ravens regular season victory, and then when these two teams potentially meet in the playoffs again, Bills get that win. It's just such a toss-up that you really can't tell who you want to win this one. So I'm gonna stick with Buffalo to get the win tonight, but don't be shocked if that ends up all over the place. I feel like that's gonna be a close game no matter what. No matter what. Um, Realistically, looking at the slate of games today, there are some interesting matchups that caught my eye, including Miami versus the Colts. Tom Brady's Raiders taking on his former team, the New England Patriots. Seattle versus the 49ers. Green Bay versus Detroit. And then, of course, that Monday Night Football matchup between Minnesota and Chicago. We're in for a great slate of games. And I know that next week we're going to be making our picks as well. Which next week's slate of games even look even more tempting to try and make a pick. I'm going to have to do some research for next week. But, I mean, we're starting off the season hot today, ladies and gentlemen, with some great slate of games, and I'm not kidding. I'm so happy that the NFL is back because now we get to talk about all these different things, including which team is going to step up in the AFC, which team is going to step up in the NFC, which team is going to dethrone the Philadelphia Eagles, which team is going to dethrone the Kansas City Chiefs. Will those two teams have Super Bowl fatigue? Which team fall, which team will rise? Which teams do we have our eyes on? Which team is going to be the sleeping underdog? Will we see a new revitalized New York Giants team? Will we see the Jets finally do something? Will we see Buffalo continue what they had last season? Will we see a surprising underdog like the Bears? Will we see a surprising underdog like the Tennessee Titans? Will we see a surprising underdog like the Denver Broncos? Will we see these teams that just pop up out of nowhere make a big impact, like what Los Angeles did to Kansas City the other night? Will we see teams look as dominant as ever? Will we see the same dominance that we've seen from the Houston Texans? Will we see the same dominance that we've seen from the Cincinnati Bengals? Will we see what are we in for this upcoming season? And it all gets answered today at 1 o'clock when the games officially kick off and we can't determine who's going to win what. There's so much action today. There's so much on the line. And honestly, I'm very excited that we get to talk football. And the fact that football is now back, I do know that we are in for a very exciting time today. And honestly, I cannot wait for kickoff. Because the great game is back. I'm not going to lie. This first game is probably going to determine my mood for the New York Giants for the rest of the year. So, the NFL officiating. But we'll have to wait and see. We are going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we actually have WNBA talk to talk about, including Caitlin Clark and how the Fever have officially sidelined her. What does this mean for the Fever's playoff chances? Not only that, we also have some NBA to talk about, including another NBA All-Star Game format being changed and how we hate it already. It's another goddamn format. Anyway, stay with us live right here on BWN Radio, the #1 Syracuse Sports Radio, right here on YouTube. Welcome back to BWN Radio, the number one Syracuse Sports Radio right here on YouTube. So we'll be back with you folks once again. Folks, this segment of BWN Radio is brought to you guys by our friends at Vivid Seats. Vivid Seats, if you would please.
You got the tickets?
Vivid Seats has legit tickets for legit fans. From concerts to sports and everything in between. Vivid Seats makes scoring great deals on great seats. Fast, easy, and reliable. When it's something you can't miss, Vivid Seats doesn't miss. These guys know what I'm talking about. And so do these guys. Vivid Seats, the only ticket company that rewards you for buying.
Big thank you to our friends at Vivid Seats, folks. Whether you guys are getting tickets for any concerts this upcoming year, or whether you guys are getting tickets for any of the NFL or college football games, you guys need to gear up with some tickets at Vivid Seats. Vivid Seats helps you guys find the best tickets, finds you guys the best seats for the best deals. You guys need to check it out at vividseats.com or download their app on the App Store or Google Play today and find out how you guys can get the best deals. Check them out at vividseats.com or download their app on the App Store or Google Play today. All right, we are entering the world of the WNBA, and of course, the last time we entered the world of the WNBA, we were talking about things getting thrown on the court, but this is some big news coming out as of Thursday, which is Indiana Fever have officially sidelined Caitlin Clark for the rest of the season due to a groin injury. It says here that Indiana Fever's coach Stephanie White said Friday that she hopes star Caitlin Clark's injury-riddled second season will be a blimp on the radar for her career, and that Clark will learn from the experience so early as a pro. Here's pretty much what the coach had to say. There's a hunger and a drive that comes from not having played or not wanting to do that again, White said Friday, a day after Clark was officially ruled out for the season. So what does that look like from a training perspective? What does that look like from a mental perspective? A preparation perspective is just as much impactful as what you learn about the game and your teammates. Clark, the 2024 number one overall pick, was limited to 13 games this year and has not played since July 15th when she suffered a right groin injury in the last minute of the Fever's win over the Connecticut Suns. She says she has been sidelined early in the year with a left quad and left groin injuries, and in August, workout suffered a bone bruise in her right ankle that she had to rehab concurrently with her groin. It says here, White said Friday that the team has had a preliminary conversation about what Clark's continued rehab will look like, though at the end of the season, but will sit and talk more thoroughly about an off-season plan once the Fever season is over. Now, when talking about the Fever, here is the problem. They are currently in a position where they are currently sitting in 7th place in the WNBA standings. Now, there are only a couple games left on the schedule for Fever, which include a matchup today with Washington and a Tuesday matchup with the Lynx. Now, what does this mean for today? Well, it's pretty simple. If the Fever were to win both games, they have a strong chance of being in the playoffs. If they were to lose both games, they could potentially be on the outside looking out, as the Seattle Storm and the Sparks are looking to get into the WNBA playoffs as well. Now, can say this, that the Fever are facing a very tough uphill task, because both teams are actually fighting for that spot, and of course they're going up against one of the top teams in the WNBA to end off the season in the WNBA by going up against the Lynx. Now, the problem is, even though that the Fever do not have Clark for the rest of the year, that doesn't mean that that team is not capable of pulling off having a great playoff run, nor in or or the fact that many people are already ruling them out before it even happens. That roster has such great talent on it that I can guarantee you that the Fever have a strong chance of not only making it into the playoffs, but you also got to look at the fact that they also have a talented players. Not only that, not only in Alicia Boston, but also in Kelsey Mitchell as well. Of course, Natasha Howard. I mean, that team can honestly make a lot of great things happen. obviously there are some surprising stars in that team, like Sophie Cunningham and, of course, like Sims and McDonald. I mean, they just have so much talent on that Fever team that I believe that they are going to come out of this and make it into the WNBA playoffs. But with Clark, that's what I want to talk about here for a minute, because Caitlin Clark, generational talent. Okay, fantastic player. No one can sit here and say that she doesn't bust her ass, but these injuries have affected her career greatly. I feel like Caitlin this season obviously took a beating. She did. She took a harsh season this year. I mean, she played her ass off, but yet she was going through just so many injuries, and of course dealing with so many like hits, and of course dealing with everything that the WNBA was chucking at her. It was very difficult for her to come out this season and try and play her best basketball, and it really does. I mean, she does obviously shoulder a lot as an effective player. She does. She has a lot of responsibilities when it comes to her being a player in the WNBA. It really does suck that she is going through all these injuries, but once again, the Fever are like, we're not giving up on her. We're gonna have a plan. We're gonna go through that plan once we're done with the season. We're gonna work on getting better. We're gonna work on getting Caitlin better. We're gonna come back next season and we're gonna be as dominant as ever. But we're focused on the right now, which is we have a chance to make it into the WNBA playoffs, and we need to focus on that. Yes, we know that Caitlin is done, but that doesn't mean that she's not going to be at the games, cheering us on, being an effective teammate, making sure that her team is doing what needs to be done still as a leader. Realistically here, the Fever have the best chance of staying in this because realistically, you can already rule out the Los Angeles Sparks. I mean, how many games do the Sparks have? Because realistically, they would need to win 3 in order to get in. What? They would have to win 3 games to get in. So they have a matchup today against Dallas. Tuesday they got to play Phoenix, and then Thursday they got to play Las Vegas. So they're going up against some tough talent here. They really are. I mean, they only got a 1-point victory over Dallas last time. So that right there is going to be a tough test. Realistically, the Sparks have to win 3 games to be in, which is very difficult, especially when you're going up against Las Vegas and Phoenix. I feel like those 2 teams. Yeah, I mean, they're going up against some tough talent in the final weeks here because Phoenix is currently 4th. They're already in the playoffs. They're going up against Las Vegas, which is ahead of Phoenix right now. Currently sitting at number 3. They're in the playoffs. Of course, I got to finish the season against Dallas, which Dallas was eliminated as one of the worst teams this year. Still, you can't really rule out the fact that that was a 1-point victory that they had last time. So, realistically, the Sparks need to win out in order to make it in. Now, we take a look at Seattle. Seattle is the team that's currently sitting between those 2 teams and currently has a chance to make it into the WNBA playoffs as well. Their realistic chance of making it in is they would have to beat the Valkyrie, which, by the way, one of the most surprising teams this year in the WNBA. They would have to beat the Valkyrie, hope that the Fever lose the next 2 games. Pretty much here's the playoff scenario for these teams. The Sparks have to win out. Seattle needs to get that win over the Valkyrie. And the Fever need to just win the last 2 games. Realistically, if the Fever get a win today and lose that last one, there's a strong chance that they still make it in, but then again, it's probably going to come down to a tiebreaker between them and Seattle. Los Angeles, they have to win out. Like there's no question about it. They have to win the last 3 games in order to make it even have a chance. But again, they're going up against 2 playoff teams and of course a team that may have finished last, but they only got a 1-point victory against. So that's a very difficult picture for them to be in. So I think if Los Angeles loses today, then the Fever have a very strong chance of making it in. But then again, you also have to pray that Seattle also takes a loss, because if Seattle loses, then the Fever are in. Problem is, with that 8 spot, too, you also got to think Los Angeles, they would just have to win. They would have to win all 3 to potentially knock Seattle out of it. Meanwhile, if you're looking at the teams that are already in, the Lynx finish as one of the best teams. They finished with a 33-9 record. Atlanta finished with a 28-14 record. They're sitting at number 2. Vegas is number 3 with a 27-14. Phoenix is sitting there with a 27-15 record. The New York Liberty, the defending champs, are currently sitting at 5th with a 25-17 record. The new franchise team of the Golden State Valkyries, they are currently sitting at number 6 with a 23-19 record. Is anyone going to stop the Lynx? Like, realistically, I mean, Jesus. You want to talk about just pure dominance? I give you Minnesota. Who's their star player? Collier? If I'm saying her name right, I'm probably butchering her name, and I apologize, but I mean, jeez, talk about a workhorse. He's averaging 23 points a game, 7 rebounds a game, 1 steal per game. I mean, jeez, Kayla McBride too. I mean, jeez, you want to talk about just pure dominance? You take a look at that team. Collier, McBride, Williams, Smith. Can anyone slow that team down? 21? Yeah. Jeez. I don't think anyone is going to be able to slow down Minnesota. I really don't. I think Minnesota's probably going to win it all this year. By the way that they're playing. I mean, they're playing great basketball. Only taking 9 losses on this. I mean, they're not even in double-digit losses this year. The rest of the WNBA is in double-digit losses. I mean, you want to talk about just pure dominance? I give you Minnesota. Finished with the best record. Who's a real threat to them? I mean, would Atlanta, Las Vegas, Phoenix? I feel like those 3 teams would probably be the most to Minnesota. Liberty, I know that they have some injuries, so I don't think that they're going to be much of a threat in the WNBA playoffs, unfortunately. Even the Golden State Valkyries. I mean, we don't know. This new expansion team, I mean, they're playing their ass off, and they clinched a playoff spot. Obviously, the 4 teams that are eliminated is Washington, Connecticut, Chicago, and Dallas, which, by the way, I don't even... Should I even mention Chicago? Do I even want to talk about Chicago? How is it that supposedly the best WNBA player only got her team 10 wins on the season? For being a 2K cover athlete when you can't even win. What do we think of Chicago? I love my soundboard guy. But no, realistically, I mean, for all the crap talk that, Angela Reese and all them make, the fact that they're sitting at the bottom almost every year of the WNBA, and they're gonna say, oh, it's because people tune in and watch us. Like, come on. Give me a break. Have you told your Mad Lads on AJ Lee's return? No, I haven't mentioned wrestling. Wrestling is more for WrestleArc. Told the Mad Lads about AJ Lee's return. Well, I'm not talking about that right now. I'm talking about the WNBA. No, I just like how the woman who sit there and says, "Oh, the league should be about me too," and I'm a 2K athlete and I'm this and I'm that. and all kinds of crap towards Caitlyn and the rest of the WNBA. Those people are tuning in to watch her. I don't think anyone's tuning in for a team that's 10-31. It's 2-8 in the last 10 games. Miss cover athlete. No, but you're good. It's just I for some reason, whenever I talk about WWE on here, it just I don't feel right about it. I love talking about it on WrestleArc. Like obviously we'll talk about results of like pay-per-views and stuff that we've watched, but I just like covering most stuff on here. We'll talk about it. I can still talk about it. I'll write that into the show. I don't care. It's my show. It didn't. But you could say wrestling is back. Does that? But anyway, sticking with this here, right? Realistically, when talking about the Fever, they make the playoff. Yes, it's that 8 spot that's going to be the interesting. Because realistically, the Sparks have to win out. If they lose their game, when's their next game? Tonight? If they lose their game tonight, it's over. Right? They might as well just call it a season. Because they got to keep it alive. They really do. They the only way they keep their season alive is if they get a win tonight. They don't have to rely on Plum in order to carry that team, but still, like they gotta win tonight. They do play today. They play against Dallas, so they gotta beat Dallas tonight at 6 p.m. If they lose that game, and it's over, then it's gonna be Seattle and Fever pretty much. And it's just a battle between those two to figure out seeding. So who do they play? They play Dallas tonight. Yep. So possible to keep the dream alive, but it's those last 2 games that are really gonna screw them over. It also doesn't help with the fact that their last 2 games were against Atlanta, and they got blown out both times. I mean, they got to beat Phoenix and Las Vegas as the last 2, which is going to be a challenge if they're looking to keep it alive. What are they doing against Dallas this year? Hold on, let me see here. I'm looking at their first matchup. They won 93 to 79. Let's see here. Then the last time they met, they actually got a 97-96 victory on August 15th. And they got an 81-80 victory on August 20th. So they could potentially get the sweep tonight. It's those last 2 games that are really gonna. No, it's kind of iffy in that part because I don't know. Like you could sit there and you could say that realistically the Sparks have a chance, but it's the last 2 games that are probably gonna make you want to yank your hair out. No, you can go either way with that, but we do have some NBA to talk about, and honestly, this is the problem. Okay, when was this reported? This was reported 4 days ago. This was a report. Sources say that the NBA All-Star Game is to have 2 USA teams and 1 World team. The format for the 2026 NBA All-Star Game is likely to be a round-robin tournament consisting of 3 8-player teams, 2 USA teams, and 1 World team, sources told ESPN on Wednesday. The NBA and Players Union presented the format to the league's competition committee on Wednesday. Sources say governors, team executives, and players discussed the format within the competition committee meeting, and the response was positive, sources say. The 2 USA teams and 1 World team squad would play each other in 12-minute quarter games. The 2026 All-Star Game would be played in Los Angeles in the Intuit Dome, the new home of the Los Angeles Clippers, on February 15th. The game, which will be aired on NBC, will shift from a Sunday evening to a Sunday afternoon start time. Last year's format of the NBA All-Star Game, a 4-team single elimination tournament with a target score of 40 points for each round, drew mixed reviews, with several players taking issues with the breaks during and between the games. Earlier this year, NBA Commissioner Adam Silver said, "It's not lost on us to have that the 2026 All-Star Game will be played amid the Winter Olympics as well as the location for the 2028 Summer Games," and was receptive of the idea of the game having an international twist. Okay. Statistic here, it says the NBA says that about 70% of players in the league are American. Meanwhile, it is therefore will be easier for international competition to make an all-star roster in the US versus the world-style competition. Here's my problem with this. And honestly, this is what drives me nuts. First off, last year's game sucked. There was no mixed reviews. It was awful. Okay, anyone that says that that game was good, allow me to be the eye-opener for you. Last year's format sucked absolute ass when it came to All-Star. Because the target score of 40, they should have just made it like a number for like Kobe Bryant, like make it 24 or something. But the part that makes me mad, why not just have a traditional NBA All-Star game? Where you have mixed players and you have fans vote. Whoever makes it in is in. Why do we have to go through all this bullcrap of, oh, there has to be two Team USA teams and a Team World team, and we're gonna have those teams play in the round robin bullcrap? Why is the NBA complicating crap? The point of the NBA All-Star Game is schoolyard basketball with the best talent in the world playing the best defense, the best offense, and so on and so forth. Lately, yes, I understand defense has been lacking in the NBA All-Star Game. No shocker. But I mean, come on, man. Why are we complicating the process? Why complicate it? Have the fans vote as to who gets in the NBA All-Star Game. Have the two teams go up against each other. The NBA can pick the teams. I really don't give a crap. Why do we have to go through all this bullcrap of changing the All-Star Game when honestly this one's gonna suck too? Let's have two teams going up against each other. The best in the world's playing against one another. Yes, we understand they're scared of injuries, but guess what? Tough crap. Play basketball. Let's play basketball. I mean, honestly. We pay these guys millions of dollars to play this random bullcrap that we call an All-Star Game. There's a reason that the MLB All-Star Game was more entertaining last year. Is because this one sucked absolute ass. This format is going to suck absolute ass. Just bring back the traditional game. You can even have the guys do the old All-Star Game format of where they used to wear their jerseys, for Christ's sakes. Like their team jerseys. I don't care. Just make it the traditional game. Like that's the reason I don't like watching the NBA as much as I used to. Like obviously I'll still talk about it, and obviously I'll still talk about how my Miami Heat suck and how I hate Boston and New York and this and that. But dude, I get so frustrated when I look at the All-Star game because it's like, dude, this used to mean something. And now it's like, oh, we're going to turn it into childish bullcrap because no one wants to play defense until the fourth quarter. Here's an idea. What's the point? You're supposed to showcase the talent in an all-star game. No, it's random. Showcasing talent in an NBA all-star game. Ooh. To me, this is just stupid. Just changing up the formats makes no sense. Like, obviously, I understand why they changed up the format the first time. Obviously, when they had to do the emblem ending in honor of Kobe Bryant. I got that, okay? I love that idea. I thought it was a great idea. Lately, their ideas, though, have just gone to shit, including last year's format, which was the 4 teams, which one was like a rising star team that got obliterated by the other All-Stars. I mean, come on. Why are we complicating this as much as we are? Just make it 2 teams, fans vote, those teams play against one another. And you want to know what? You can even add a bonus to it. Say one team wins the All-Star game, they should get like a pay raise in their contract or something. Or say that, oh, their team, like whoever is the All-Star, their team gets an automatic bid into like the playoffs or some crap. I don't care. Make it interesting like that. The NBA is constantly changing the formats, and honestly, it's just getting more and more confusing. And honestly, this idea sucks. 2 USA teams versus 1 world. Gee, I wonder how that's going to turn out. Wonder how that's going to turn out. Probably with Team World kicking Team USA's ass. And if anyone's going to sit there and say, oh, that's not going to happen, allow me to be the eye-opener for you. But let's face it, Team USA basketball is not the highest power in the world in terms of basketball just because we won the gold. Let's face it, there's a lot more international talent that's 10 times better than the talent that we see on the court today. Just, they're complicating a format that makes no sense. Have the fans vote. You know, break the teams in half, figure out who goes to which team, how is the format going to be fair, so on and so forth. You can even do East versus West again. I don't care. Just make it the traditional basketball game that it once was, which was these guys are going to go out and they're going to play their ass off. And yeah, there might be minimal defense, but who cares? It's basketball. It's the freaking All-Star game. Why complicate it? So, oh, we're going to have a round-robin tournament, and we're going to showcase international talent. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. People get on me a lot about that. I've come to realize this. When it comes to sports, I'm a traditional type of guy. Like, I miss the old NFL Pro Bowl where they just blasted each other and actually played football. I miss the old NBA where guys could run into each other and a foul wouldn't be called every 10 seconds. Like, I don't know. I'm a traditional guy. I don't know why. Like, I hate when I watch a game that I love just get changed into some schoolyard bullshit. Just because, oh, we got to make it fair and we got to make it competitive. Yeah, that really makes it fair. Have two USA teams going up against a Team World. Gee, I wonder who we're representing well. Ugh. You guys still haven't got much sleep because I'm cranky. I mean, come on. There's common sense here, right? Like, why complicate the great game? Why complicate the great game of basketball? It's a sport we love more than anything. They complicate it. It's just go out and play basketball. Why? Yeah, just get rid of it. Just get rid of All-Star Weekend altogether. Let's face it, no one really tunes in anymore. I mean, like, this is going to be any different. We all know who's going to be on Team World. We all know who's going to be on the 2 USA teams. Why bother? I mean, come on. We all know how the fan vote is going to turn out, right? We know who's going to be on Team USA, and we all know who's going to be on Team World, so why bother? Might as well just do that. Do Team USA versus Team World. I mean, come on. Complicating the goddamn system. And again, it's the NBA, and of course, they do a draft lottery system that makes absolutely no goddamn sense. They're stupid. That's the best way I can put it. Is the NBA is stupid sometimes. It drives me nuts. Anyway, we're gonna take a commercial break. When we come back, we're gonna go around the diamond. We're gonna check in on the Yankees and the Mets, and of course, the rest of Major League Baseball at this point. and how it's all turning out as folks the push for October has officially begun, and of course some teams are already eliminated. Who's joining the Colorado Rockies as one of the worst teams to get eliminated this season? Stay with us live right here on BW Radio, the #1 Syracuse Sports Radio, right here on YouTube. BW Radio, the #1 Syracuse Sports Radio right here on YouTube. So happy to be back with you folks once again. Well, this segment of BW Radio is brought to you guys by our friends at W Energy. Folks, W Energy is now a proud sponsor of BW Radio Network, as every product they create follows the same philosophy: be effective, be clean, and taste as good as nature will allow it, be better. They have starter kits for as low as $16, and by using code BW Radio Network, that's BW Radio Network in all capitals, at checkout, you get a 10% off your first order. Check them out today using the link below. Plus, while checking out the links below, you guys can check out our merch shop, which is at tpublic.com. Become part of the BW Radio Mad Lads by getting your merch at tpublic.com. TeePublic has awesome stickers, hats, hoodies, mugs, and more with our awesome designs that we create ourselves. You guys can check them all out at tpublic.com. Not only that, but folks, I'm happy to announce that we are currently in the works of trying to finish up the BW Radio Discord server. Be released probably within the next week or so. We're working on it. We're trying our best. Make sure folks also check out some of the other BW Radio Network podcasts, including B-Side Radio and, of course, the Wrestle Arc podcast. We'll show the schedule coming up in just a little bit. Now time for Around the Diamond, folks. This Around the Diamond is brought to you guys by W Energy. And, folks, it's time to check in on the Yankees and the Mets. Let's start with the Yankees in the American League East, as folks, as they are currently 3 games behind the Toronto Blue Jays, as folks, as they are 7-10 or 7-3 in their last 10 games. And believe it or not, they actually have a 99% chance of making the playoffs. I can't believe that. The Yankees have a shot at the playoffs. Meanwhile, in the National League East, checking in on the Mets, they are currently on a 1-game losing streak. They are 5-5 in their last 10 games. They are currently 7 games behind the Philadelphia Phillies and have a 95% chance of making the playoffs. Ooh, that felt. Taking a look at the league overall, top teams in Major League Baseball as of right now are the Milwaukee Brewers with an 88-85 record. They currently sit atop Major League Baseball at the moment. Behind them is the Phillies, Blue Jays, Tigers, Cubs, Yankees, Dodgers, Astros, Red Sox, Padres, Mets, Mariners, Royals, Rangers, Giants, Guardians, Diamondbacks, Reds. Taking a look at the 2 teams that are currently eliminated from playoff contention are the Colorado Rockies with a 40-102 record. Meanwhile, the Chicago White Sox, they are unfortunately eliminated as well, as they have a 54-89 record. And they currently are 6-4 in the last 10 games, but unfortunately, they're out of playoff contention. Taking a look at the longest winning streaks in Major League Baseball at the moment, the Diamondbacks actually have that right now. They are on a 4-game winning streak. They are 8-10 in their last 10 games, or 8-2 in their last 10 games. Meanwhile, the Baltimore Orioles are a team to talk about. They got a surprising win last night. They actually are on a 5-game winning streak. They are 6-4 in their last 10 games. I want to talk about the Orioles here in just a minute, but obviously the longest losing streaks as of right now, longest losing streak at the moment currently goes to the Twins. They're on a 6-game losing streak and are 2-8 in their last 10 games. Right behind them is the Miami Marlins with a 5-game losing streak, going 3 of 7 in their last 10 games. Alongside them is also the Dodgers with a 3 and 7 in their last 10 games with a 5-game losing streak as well. So, I want to talk about the collapse that happened to the Dodgers last night because it's all over the place this morning with the fact that the Dodgers had a no-hitter for about 8 innings, completely collapsed. Completely, completely collapsed. They had a no-hitter, 8 innings. And the Dodgers said, "Not so fast, my friend. Not so fast. Maybe up 3-0, but we're about to put on some magic." Fourth, ninth inning. After Holiday homered right center, making it 3-1. Dodgers lead. Then Hauser walked. Johnson scored. Mateo scored. Henderson to third. 3-2. Dodgers still have the lead. It was Rivera singled to center. Henderson scored and Mateo scored. Hauser to second. Baltimore gets the win. Biggest choke job I've seen in a while by the Dodgers. We had a no-hitter through 8 for the collapse. And I can't say anything because the Mets lost 6-3 last night. The Yankees got a win over the Blue Jays. I couldn't believe that. The Yankees actually won. I honestly could not believe that. Yankees getting the victory. Here's a piece of news that honestly shocked me, but I understand why the Mets are doing it. Set Senga down to Syracuse. They're sending him to Syracuse because he needs to improve. Which I understand why they did it. Everyone was asking me how I felt about that because I was a huge Senga guy when he came in. Honestly, I'm devastated. He was doing so good, and then this year, just like everything just kind of fell apart, and now he's got to go all the way down to Syracuse to get some work. He'll be fine. Back. I guarantee it, he'll be back. No doubt about it. There is something else that I wanted to talk about when it came to Major League Baseball, and that, of course, was what happened on Twitter. Because, and I quote, "This has got to be the biggest manhunt that we have ever seen." I'm going to show you a clip from Twitter, okay? This is brought to you guys by Sports Philadelphia. I'm going to show you this clip, and honestly, it makes me infuriated, the fact that I have to show you this clip. So here, obviously one of the Philadelphia Phillies hit a home run. Ball goes out. Pay attention to this woman right here. This guy runs over, hits the home run ball, walks away with it. He's happy. Now, obviously, in Major League Baseball, fans, they go for the home run ball, and they don't usually get it back. You know, like, obviously, sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. This man did an awesome job. He got the ball, and he was giving it to his son. His son, I want to point out, this little boy right here, this young man, celebrating his birthday. It's his birthday. The dude is celebrating it at a game with his father. just enjoying the game. Then, this Karen comes along. It's in the dad's face. Starts screaming at him, scares the dad. Dad went and got the ball. It was a fair ball. The ball was on the ground. The woman is just yelling at this point. Screaming at the dad. Dad ends up giving the baseball to the woman. I want to point out, whoever that woman is, there's a special place in hell for people like you. Like, come on. Who the hell does that? Who the hell does that? Like, that just pisses me right off. It does. That pisses me right the fuck off. First off, in Major League Baseball, you're not always guaranteed to get a home run ball. You're not. You're never not. People fight over it all the time because they can usually save it. You know, they could sell it online as a collectible. They could keep it as a memento. It obviously is a big deal, right? It is. It is a very big deal. The dad went over, got the ball for his son for his birthday. His fucking birthday. That's what makes this suck. Got it for his birthday. Okay? Kid's trying to enjoy spending time with his dad on his birthday at a baseball game. Just, trying to have a good time. This fucking Karen is just the biggest dick on the planet. Now, seen videos that happen afterwards, which, by the way, I want to say, I believe it was the Marlins. The Marlins heard that it was that kid's birthday, and what did they do? They gave him a nice package, or a nice present, I believe. I'm like, here, I'll even show that video. I don't care. Like, here, this is what happened after, right? So, obviously, they heard about it. The Marlins, they gave this kid a nice package. They got him a whole bunch of stuff to celebrate his birthday. In this video, we learned that the kid's birthday was actually in a couple days, so I'm not sure if it was a couple days after that happened or if it's today or whenever it is. But happy birthday, kid, wherever the heck you are. And by the way, kudos to the Marlins for doing something amazing for this kid. That's what you love. You love seeing teams stick up for each other. I could see that there's a baseball in there, and I could see that there's a whole bunch of collectible stuff in there. Which, by the way, that's an awesome job. This goddamn Karen pisses me right off because I seen another video of it, right? There was another video. For those of you that think that this video, like, that was it, allow me to be the person that says, not so fast, my friends. Because this Karen just drives me absolutely fucking nuts. Karen didn't stop there. Because there was another video. This is her right here. She gets in the face of another guy who's just sitting there enjoying the game. Now, obviously, he's an Eagles fan. Usually we don't stick up for Eagles fans, but Jesus Christ, this woman is in the wrong just so bigly. The dude called her pretty much a fucking bum, which she is. Everyone's making fun of her. She decides to flip everyone the double bird off camera. Flips off the whole section. Look at that. They're out there telling her to fuck off, pretty much. She's sitting there, yep, flips them all off, has the baseball, flipping everyone off. Looks like she's in the right. I mean, just a total scumbag. Total douchebag. Worst part is everyone's trying to figure out who the hell she is and identify her, which I don't blame them. That's not where this kind of story ends, because believe it or not, the Phillies and the Marlins actually did something nice for this kid. He actually got to meet the guy that actually hit the home run. Not only did the kid get a baseball from that guy that hit the home run, but he also gave the kid a signed autographed bat, which is even more incredible. You love it when stuff like that happens. You do love it. I mean, obviously, y- like it just drives me nuts because there is a certain reputation for sports fans, and honestly, this makes sports fans look bad all over the place. Like, first off, I'm not blaming the Phillies or the Marlins. I don't blame any of the Philadelphia fans that were there enjoying the game, other than this dumb chick. But I mean, the dad was just trying to do something nice for his kid. Listen. It happens all the time. You're not guaranteed to get a home run ball. You're not. Okay, when that ball goes into the stands, it's a fight for whoever gets it first gets it. The dad walked away from the pile with the ball. He gave it to his son. He was hugging his son. They were sharing an awesome moment. Hey, that guy just hit a home run, and I got the home run ball for you. I can't believe your birthday's in a couple of days. Here's the ball. And all of a sudden, here comes Karen. Oh, I had the ball first. Give me the ball. Give me the ball. Give me. And she honestly took the ball from the kid. The dad ended up having to give the ball to her. Let's get her away from this kid. Listen, this should not be a resemblance of every fan. This is just another Karen that's trying to ruin the game for someone. But listen, to that kid, we want to say we hope you have an incredible birthday. Besides this woman ruining it for you, we hope that the game was fun. We do hope that you had an incredible birthday, young man. Besides that, and we do hope. By the way, Father of the Year. That man is Father of the Year. I don't care what anyone says, because that dad did the right thing. Really don't care. That dad was just trying to do something nice for his fucking kid, and this fucking Karen had to come up out of nowhere and ruin it. By the way, I do want to point out that, believe it or not, there's actually an executive that says that he's gonna send. He goes, "I'll send this young man and his family to the MLB World Series on me. Oh, and you just won an RV as well. Hashtag Dad of the Year wins this one." If that's true, I hope he sticks to his word and actually does it for that kid, because honestly, that is some bullshit. Dad didn't even do anything. Like, the dad just went and got the ball. You take the ball from me. Fuck off, Karen. She been identified? That is the next question. Has she been identified? Philadelphia fan. No, she hasn't been identified yet. Shockingly enough, usually Twitter people are usually good at identifying these people. I mean, seriously, what a scumbag. I mean, seriously, what a scumbag. That just went over to get the ball for his kid. Wait, what? Oh, makes it even better. Hold on. Wait, hold on. We're getting some news on this. Hold on, wait. This just got even better. Karen strikes again. Outrage erupts after a woman heartlessly grabbed a home run ball from a young boy during the Philadelphia Phillies game on September 5th. So it is his birthday today. Happy birthday. What many don't know is that this isn't her first offense. A few weeks ago, the same woman attended an all ages show where our band post. So there was a band was playing. Our guitarist was a young boy in a wheelchair. Saw a young boy in a wheelchair near the front of the stage and knelt down to give him a signed stylus and a guitar pick. But this Karen, wearing one of our post shirts, snatched the items from the. Oh, my freaking god! But the woman stormed off, trashed our merch table, and left the venue, causing almost $20 in damages. We made things right with the fan after the show, not thinking much of it since things get rowdy at post shows. After seeing the news, we felt needed to speak up. So this isn't the woman's first offense. Dude, kick her the fuck out. Like, Jesus Christ, man. MLB, I hope you guys figure out who this woman is, and she needs to be banned. Like, she needs to be banned from any events at that stadium. She needs to be banned from any events altogether. Jesus Christ. I know her name. This is the problem. I'm trying to figure out the name. It's not popping up. Oh, well. Anyway, I just want to say, young man, I hope you do have an amazing birthday. Dad, you definitely are Dad of the Year, and I hope that the guy that we just seen the Twitter post from, which, by the way, he looks like an executive. What's he an executive for? The Fixer on Fox TV, Hulu, and Fox Business. Yeah. So no doubt that he'll do right by signing you guys to the World Series and everything. But Jesus Christ. Way to ruin the game for the kid lady. This is why sports fans get a bad rap. Hate it. But anyway. So that is it for BW Radio today. Make sure you check out all the other awesome podcasts on the BW Radio Network, including BW Radio that goes live every Sunday at 8 a.m. on YouTube. Tomorrow we're going live on Station Head at 7 a.m. And, of course, on Tuesday we're going live at 7 a.m. on Station Head as well. And Thursday on the Wrestler Podcast on YouTube. Which, by the way, we did not talk about the AJ Lee thing. Holy crap. I can't believe she's back. AJ Lee is officially back in WWE, which I could not believe. I hope that the feud is going to be good. I hope that it's going to be entertaining. I do know that we're going to be releasing some videos within the next couple days to try and talk about that. But holy crap, AJ Lee's back in WWE, which is awesome. So that's it for BW Radio today. Again, I apologize if the show is all over the place today. It's just another one of those days. But we will be back next week. We said, make sure you guys check out that little asterisk underneath the schedule. Schedule subject to change based on work-related matters and IRL situations. Yeah, we're officially going to get out of here for the day. So, announcer guy, if you want to end the show like we usually do, let's end it. This has been BW Radio. I've been your host, Brandon. We'll see you guys next time. We'll see you guys tomorrow on Station Head for B-Side Radio. Until next time, peace out, everyone. Have an awesome day.
Perfect ending to a historic day.
Your eyes give off a toxic vibe, making me lose my mind. That's why I'm sitting in your room. Looks like Lil Uzi Tomb.